Here are some skills that genuinely changed my life in all facets. I'm a fitness online coach. I help people transform their lives. I'm also a business coach. So I do two things. What I have learned is all skills combined. They always reflect other things. I used to be a flight instructor. I used to be a flight instructor and teach people how to fly. And then one tool, not one, but one of the biggest tools I learned from being a flight instructor is don't give a meal plan to your clients. You might be like, what? That makes no sense. How does aviation relate to online fitness coaching to help people change their lives through fitness? Let me tell you, the why. You explain the why behind why you do things. As a pilot, you have to learn why everything happens. You have to learn why the plane gets off the ground. You have to learn how the engine works. You have to learn all these things, all these different forms of drags, all these different procedural things. And as a pilot, you might think, oh, they just take off and land. Boy, oh boy, is that the easiest part? But that makes sense. You want the pilot to know these things. You don't want the pilot that just knows how to take off and land. You want to know the pilot that knows how to do every single step. There's 4 different steps that I learned in learning, and I teach my clients these. It's RUAC. If you're a pilot and you're watching this video, you're gonna think it's real funny that I'm using FOIs because they say you'll never learn these or you'll never use these in your life. So, rote, understanding, application, correlation. These are the 4 steps of learning. Everyone can hear rote. You'll hear a lot of people on social media use really big words. Only a fool will use big words. I like to say the smartest person in the room can teach a 3rd grader the lesson. The dumbest person in the room uses all the big words to make people think he's the smart guy. So rote is you regurgitate. And this is what a lot of clients learn when they get meal plans. If a coach gives you a meal plan, or if a coach tells you, hey, do carnivore, hey, do keto, do intermittent fasting, do Atkins, do the OMAD diet, do all these things, you might be saying, yeah, they work. Why? Because they all go to a calorie deficit. That's the why. But if you don't know the why, you'll know, hey, carbs, that's the issue. I gained weight because of carbs. And if they follow a meal plan, like every coach gives, oh, this meal plan got me results. I lost 30 pounds following this meal plan. I don't really like this meal plan though. It's kind of getting boring. What if I eat normal food now? What if I don't follow the meal plan? Oh boy, why am I back at square one? What happened? Lost all this weight. I know this meal plan, this exact meal plan makes me lose weight. I don't know anything else because the coach never explained why. And that's how you get the 90-day transformations. The coaches have crazy testimonials, and at the end of the day, they could be a really crappy coach. Just because they give a meal plan doesn't mean they're a bad coach, by the way. It's just when they don't teach you everything. And so how I applied that to my coaching is, say someone had chicken and rice. That's very bare bones. Everyone has heard of that meal, even if you're not in fitness. I'll be like, hey, we're already kind of crushing our protein. You're a little low on your fats. You're not really getting your vitamin A. Pretty low on your fiber. Let's fix that. Let's do some sweet potatoes or maybe some carrots. Get that vitamin A up there. Maybe a little bit of fiber. You know, instead of rice, let's get some quinoa, more dense in fiber, more complete micronutrient profile. And it's a complete protein. And you know, you're not really getting your omega fats. So rather than that chicken breast, let's throw in some chicken thigh. Oh, that makes so much sense. He explained why each step. And I'm not making a 180 in their life. Not taking anything out of their diet. We're substituting or we're adding to the diet. That's my coaching philosophy. I do this with every single one of my clients. I'm gonna be like, hey, boy, oh boy, was that a great elevator pitch. I want to work with you. Sales. Marketing, social media, everything is applying. Everything congeals together. It's a cool little journey it's brought you on. Pilot instructor, now I explain why I'm doing coaching. Now you know a little bit about me, all combined. So I learned if I'm talking about one thing, it can relate to something else. If I talk about being successful, that mindset can make you successful in your fat loss phase. It can make you an entrepreneurship. Everything is combined. It all comes down to mindset and learning. Everything. Not even exaggerating. Everything comes from learning and mindset. The second you believe something, the second you believe it and truly believe it, you will get results. And I am not kidding. Your brain does not know the difference between something imagined and something that actually happened. If you truly believe it, rather than saying, this may happen, this might happen, I will lose 30 pounds. I will become an online fitness coach. I will make my first 10K a month. I will work more. Tomorrow, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. These are the phrases that you need to say. I always say be delusionally confident in life because it will get you farther than anyone else than a procrastinator or overthinker. That someone that has self-doubt and insecurity will never get results like someone that has 10 out of 10 confidence, 1 out of 10 on skills. They will get farther in life in every facet. I know you hate to hear that. I know you hate to hear that. And I'm an online fitness coach. I've worked with thousands of people accomplish fat loss, muscle gain, get their period back, get their hormones back, produce their testosterone better, optimize their hormones in general. I've done so many different things in fitness. I also help people change their life in all facets. Malachi, look at this text. He was joining me as a fitness coach. We lost 30 pounds together or something like that. And then he became an online fitness coach and he has had 30K. 30K in the past 3 months. That's crazy. It's crazy. All from the same skills. The same skills. They're all correlate. I always say, always say, believe what you're gonna do. And that's what changed my life genuinely. I stopped having imposter syndrome. I knew the stuff I knew about fitness would change people's lives. This lesson was really hard to learn. Years to learn this skill. And I actually heard it well put by Alex Hormozi recently. Resilience is the ability to get back to baseline as fast as possible. That's what true resilience is. I might have been messing up his quote, but it's along those lines. And what he means by that is, say this is baseline. This is where your workload is. This is where you work at the best. Say something really bad happens, you get here. You need to get back to baseline as soon as possible. As soon as possible. And that's when you're productive. And it goes on the other side. Something really good happens in life and you become complacent and you stop working because of this win. You need to get back to baseline. I'm not saying to not celebrate your wins, but understand you won, be happy for it, get back to baseline. Don't get from here. Never leave here. This is where you're productive. This is where you always stay. In your life, you can go through breakups. Someone could die. You can get sued. You can get in a car crash. You can have all these crazy things. You need to get back to baseline as soon as possible so you can get back to working. That's truly the best skill I've learned. The best skill. Anything in my life happened before, it would deter me from my work. And it sucked. It sucked. I was mentally weak. I had no callus built. Anything in my life. I got in a fight with my girlfriend. I was done. I was wrecked. How can I make content? I just had an argument with my girlfriend. I can't talk to a camera. I can't work today because there's no content. I don't have to edit it. And if I don't have to edit, I'm not getting as many clients, so snowballs. It's one excuse onto another. Nowadays, I can't even tell you all the BS I go through. You guys don't have to know about it because I go right back to baseline. And this happens with fitness as well. I'm going to relate this back to fitness, entrepreneurship, and everything, all my skills I've learned because I've been able to maintain my body for years. I help thousands of people transform their lives, and I'm helping coaches change their lives financially. Everything is combined. I believe if you don't have your health in check, your mental health will not be good. If your mental health is not in clarity, your finance is not in clarity. They're always combined. If one's loose, the other two are not going to be as strong, and they're going to fall together. I had ambition, and I would never act upon it. I would always have the excuse of, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when this, I'll do it when that. And I'll use the number one thing I heard on sales. Number one thing when I was running my own sales calls. Everything sounds great. I know you can get me results. I know you can. So confident. I've seen your content. You're very knowledgeable. I just need to think about it and, it might not be the right time. Can we start in 2 months? That's what I say every time. Wouldn't you want someone to be with you during those unfortunate times? You're not going to be with me for the rest of your life. So if you're able to accomplish these things at the worst time, someone passes away, you could have a bad relationship with food, you get really emotional, heavy workload, heavy workload. Wouldn't you want someone to tell you how to mitigate that, accomplish your fitness goals during those times? Because it's possible. People do it all the time. People with worse situations have accomplished more than you. So it's more your actions and lack of knowledge. Well, if you have the knowledge, if you're able to do it during these hard times with me, boy, wouldn't it be easy when life is perfect, when nothing's going awry in your life? What if you only worked with me when everything was perfect and something bad goes on when you're not working with me anymore? Or you have to rehire me and pay me again to work with you during those bad times? Or you'll work with me anytime because you'll learn any skill at any time. If you wanted it, you would find a way. I would say 9 out of 10 times that worked. And it is the truth. You will always make time for something that actually matters, and you will always find a way to do it if you actually wanted it. If the pain was so bad, if you looked at the mirror and you hated what you hated it more than you staying complacent, you would make results. Tony Robbins, I love you for that quote. The second the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of making a change, that's when the change will happen. Tony Robbins, that is just so much heat, I can't even explain it. I love that quote. And for me, the pain of staying the same as being in good shape, having all the knowledge in the world, but not acting upon it, and just having these ambitions and not doing the work, and saying I was going to do the work, but just never did, that ate my soul. And I started making results when I started putting the work in. Happens in every level. If you're an online fitness coach, I'm getting no clients, I'm getting no leads. Your content sucks. You post 1 video a week. How do you expect the billions of people posting videos, or the billions of videos being posted on a daily basis? How are you going to stand out? How are people going to find your content? How are people going to find you to be your client? If you want to lose weight and you hate your body and you're doing the exact same things, how are you going to make a change? How are you going to make any change? Nothing changes if nothing changes. That quote sounds stupid, but it's so true. Nothing changes in your life, nothing's going to change. I know this is short and just kind of rough and raw, no editing, no script, kind of just off the cuff. I'm gonna keep doing this and documenting my journey, just things I've learned, becoming successful and just learning through life. I think it's gonna be pretty helpful for a lot of people. I wish I could watch something like this when I was going through a lot of things. So let me know if there's any topics you got me to talk about. It's going to be sharing the journey with you guys as someone that has gone through a lot and now is successful and just kind of wants to share the story to help others in every way. If you want to lose fat or just change your life in general, please subscribe.